Do you blame President Biden for that?
I do, because the wall was being built. Then it got stopped.
Honestly, I think we have to protect the border more. We need to know who's here, and I'm a diehard Democrat, and I'm saying that.
Your thoughts on who's to blame for this migrant crisis we're seeing in the city?
The government. You know why the government is to blame? Because they let them in. And the only way they can get in is through the government.
Who do you blame specifically?
Joe Biden.
Man on the Street interviews in New York City on the Fox News channel this morning. Who do you blame? But Joe Biden's got a propaganda network that Gurgle would drool about. At what point do we declare the Democrat Party to be an organized crime organization or a disorganized crime outfit? Democrats love to lie, and our Justice Department loves to lie. Oh, crime is down. I went and pulled it out from December 13th of last year, month and a half ago now. The New York Post pulled together some statistics that the New York Times will never pull together, comparing crime rates to 2019, show just how dangerous, quote, reforms, end quote, have been. You know, the Democrats defunded the police, demonized the police, reduced the number of police on the street, release criminals back onto the street as quickly as they can, like these criminal illegal aliens who are illegal and they're criminals. And here are some of the numbers. Murder between 2019 and 2023. 2019, 2023. Murders are up 23.1%. All right? Washington, D.C., last year, 2023, we had the biggest number of murders, the greatest number of murders in 26 years, not 25, but 26 years. In New York City, between 2019 and 2023, while homicides are up 23.1%, robberies are up 27.2%. Felony assaults are up 35.4%. Burglaries are up 30%. Grand larceny up 17.9%. Auto thefts are up 194.5%. And Democrats, liberals, self-described, not liberal at all, will look you straight in the eye and tell you that crime is down. Oh, no, crime is down. The statistics show that crime is down. And since we're talking about crime in New York and the illegal aliens attacking the police and being set free without bail and flipping off the cameras, and, you know, the Biden boys are loose on the street, the illegal alien gang members looting, robbing, stealing everything. Now, CNN is a former news organization and a left-wing cable channel. They had two clowns on this morning, Erica Hill and Phil Mattingly. They're pretending to be journalists, but they're not. And their guest was a man, John Miller, who is their law enforcement analyst, or words to that effect. And he was being asked by these dim-witted pseudo-journalists about these illegal aliens that were put back out on the street by the Democrats. And we're told 4 of them lied to Catholic Charities, gave them fake names, got on a bus, and are headed to California now. California can have them. They're welcome to them. But John Miller is a former law enforcement guy. He was the ABC News law enforcement analyst forever. Now he's the CNN law enforcement analyst. And he left them speechless. This Erica Hill woman was literally slack-jawed and stunned into silence when John Miller, who's no conservative, said what he said. Now, and the idiot Phil Mattingly said, like, wow, that's, boy. So here is CNN's This Morning law enforcement analyst John Miller.
There is this 1%er, criminal element that looks at a different opportunity here. These individuals, I went over their rap sheets yesterday.
Illegals.
Multiple charges, grand larceny, robbery, attempted robbery, grand larceny. This particular crew operated on mopeds and scooters. They were doing organized retail theft. They were doing snatches on the street, iPhones, iPads, clothing, so on and so forth. One of them that they are still seeking has 10 charges on one day because he's part of a pattern that's been going on. And I'm looking at the dates that their arrest started, which is probably close to when they got here. They've only been here a couple of months.
They've only been here a couple of months, and you hear that list of crimes? And it's these guys, these illegal aliens that were arrested and then let go without bail once again. They've got to be laughing at the United States, America. They're going to keep going till they kill. And Democrats cost lives. Democrats means more murder. Democrats means more felony assaults, more robberies, more burglaries, more grand larceny, more auto thefts, up 194%, the auto thefts, 0.5. Now listen to this part, because this is what they were in stunned silence already. But then he capped it off by telling them something they really didn't want to hear about Florida and Ron DeSantis and, enforcing laws.
What the detectives are telling me is they have crews here that operate in New York,
Crews.
do all their stealing, then go to Florida to spend the money and then come back. And I'm like, well, why don't they just stay and steal in Florida? And they said, because there you go to jail.
Oh.
Listen.
Great reporting. Keep us posted on this. It's really interesting. Thank you, John.
Yeah, go. Whoa. Because there they go to jail. What? Huh? What? So they rob everybody in New York, then they vacation in Florida, and they don't commit crimes there because there they'd go to jail. The illegal alien criminals who have cruise gangs committing all kinds of organized crime, and there they go to jail. In New York, Democrats, who are such morons, the police risk their lives and their well-being and their safety to arrest these criminals, bring them to jail. Again, the Democrats let them back out on the street to flip everybody off before the police are done with the paperwork. That's your Democrat Party, the party of criminals and crime.
We cannot prosecute and arrest our way out of it.
Yeah, right. We'll just hope that Florida can. Yeah, apparently Florida can. And again, he gets it back. You don't prosecute and arrest. You arrest and then prosecute. But he should be fired. He should probably be in jail. He should be prosecuted. That's the D.C. Chief Law Enforcement Officer. Just extraordinary stuff. Now let's go to Chicago, where more ridiculousness ensues. Nothing but Democrats for as far as the eye can see throughout all of human history in Chicago. I have family members. I grew up there. Family members, part of the corrupt Chicago Democrat machine. Now, there's this crazy stuff. For example, just a couple of days ago, 3 teens shot, 1 fatally, in a parent-targeted attack near their Chicago high school. The loss of life is tearing at the fabric of this city, Chicago's idiot mayor said, who keeps checking into the emergency room because his anxiety levels are so high that he's literally checking himself into the hospital. Honestly, how ridiculous. Now, the thing is about this 3 students shot just a couple of days ago. ABC News didn't report it nationally. February 1st of 2024, 3 students shot yesterday, headline, ABC News, right? And that's a little bit ironic, or more than a little bit ironic, because guess what? The Democrats, here it is, the mayor of Chicago, let's go Brandon Johnson. Johnson says he supports removal of police officers from schools. This is from January 30th of 2024, right? The mayor said in an interview with the Chicago Sun-Times, a corrupt left-wing rag, and WBEZ on Tuesday, that he will give the Board of Education the green light to end its $10.3 million contract with the Chicago Police Department. All right? So there has got to end that police and school thing because police are the problem. And it wasn't 48 hours later that 3 teens were shot, 1 killed, 1 in critical, 1 still recovering. And the Democrats, see, this is just it right in a nutshell here. You got Part A and Part B right in front of you on the table. Democrat policies. Oh, hey, good idea. Chicago, the radical leftists that don't educate children, but try to help them transition from boy to girl or girl to boy when they're 5 years old. Let's do. The Board of Education is advocating that they end their contract with the Chicago Police Department to provide armed men, police officers trained at the schools to protect the little rat criminals. And instead, of saying, no, we need police in schools to protect the kids. The mayor says, yeah, good idea, corrupt Chicago Board of Education. They probably funneled money. And he's a former school principal and a mental dwarf. You can't say midget anymore, so you have to say mental dwarf. Dwarfism is okay. The FAA is looking to hire dwarves of limited mental capacity and maximum physical handicaps. So here's the mayor, Brandon Johnson in Chicago, on the 30th of January, saying, yeah, you're right, Chicago Board of Education. Let's end the contract with the Chicago Police Department. 48 hours later, February 1st, and 3 students shot, 1 killed, another critical at their high school. No problem. Not a thing at all, right? And shootings of Chicago students prompts push for anti-violence workers in high schools. Maybe you should have anti-violence workers. Workers? They use the language of the Soviet Union too. Workers, that's probably it. And in California, what are they doing? San Mateo, California has declared loneliness to be a health emergency, and they want the state of California, the governor, to create a new minister of loneliness. See, that's the minister of it. It's more Soviet language. And he'll be a worker in an empty building. And there'll be a big illuminated sign on the top of the building. Lonely. I'm lonely. Amazing. Now let's go to the Chicago alderman. And we see the mayor wants to do away with police in schools. Hours later, 3 students are shot, 1 killed, 1 critical. Because the Democrats, this is their policy proposal. And boom, instantly, you get results. Now let's go to this dim-witted Chicago alderman, Anthony Beale. Although he gets it, he gets a couple things right. He's talking about the illegal aliens flooding the city of Chicago and crime and mayhem and anarchy because Democrats. Chicago city aldermen, that's what they call city councilmen there. In San Francisco, they call them supervisors on the board of supervisors. And here is Chicago alderman Anthony Beale.
The people that are coming here, we don't know if they have criminal background.
Racist.
We don't know if they're child molesters. We don't know if they're murderers. We don't know anything concrete about the people coming here. Now, when you look at what's happening, Venezuela are emptying their jails and telling them to walk to the border. So they're coming to Chicago. We already have enough crime here in the city of Chicago.
No, you don't.
Now, I've said this before. If you give me 3 meals, housing, child care, education, a voucher for $9,000, you know what? I come to Chicago too.
Ah, yes. Now, I thought he's a complete racist. He's an African-American man, of course, so he can't be a racist. He's talking about, it reminded me of President Trump saying, well, and he also pointed out something very important, that Venezuela, the commie hellhole, which was the most prosperous country in Latin America until the commies took over. Now men are chasing garbage trucks down the street, hoping to get a scrap of somebody else's half-eaten food to survive another day. And he says Venezuela is emptying out their prisons. We had the mass murderer from Brazil, convicted of murdering 11 people in Brazil, escaped and came here. We had the murderer, another second murderer from Brazil in Pennsylvania that murdered the woman and then was on the lam in the woods for 2 weeks. Remember him? But honestly, Anthony Beale, he said, they're sending we don't know about their criminal backgrounds. That's the point at which Democrats start calling people racist. Oh, sure. Just because they break our laws is the very first step in the United States. You say they're criminals. Well, yeah, the first thing they did was commit a crime. We don't know their criminal backgrounds. We don't know anything. In Venezuela, they're emptying their jails and telling them to walk to the border. So they're coming to Chicago. President Trump said something kind of like this.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some I assume are good people.
I think Anthony Beale should have said some I assume are good people. President Trump was attacked for that. He's still being attacked for that. It was 100% true, which is why they're attacking him for it. Nothing gets you in trouble like the truth. I've got more Illinois dim-witted Democrat lunacy coming up as well. Hey, it's Chris Plant, excited to tell you about our July 2024 Listener Sea Cruise. We'll be sailing around the British Isles, visiting Scotland and Ireland. Please join us. Visit ChrisPlantCruise.com. All right, let's take a phone call. We've got more crazy Democrats for you. They love crime. If it's illegal, they love it. Let's go to Bob, calling from Pennsylvania. Robert, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris, I got just a short question for you here. I realize up here in New York City they have about 140,000 illegal immigrants, but their police force is somewhere, and this is approximation, around 40,000. What happens, and who is going to stop these people if they get together under one and get an idea of doing something? Who's going to stop them?
Well, that's a fun thought. Reminds me of the movie Warriors. You ever see that movie Warriors?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know who the police force is dwarfed in comparison. If them people come together as one mind and wanted to do something, they kind of got. I don't know who's going to stop them. I really don't. You know, down over here, I'm just a blue-collar worker, and it just seems like this country and this government it's salting the earth against us people, like, to want to be entrepreneurs and work, and it's just hard. You know, it's hard. I don't understand it.
Well, yeah,
that's all I wanted to say. I really like listening to you. You know.
Oh, thank you. That's now you bring up a very important point, and you know, thousands of police officers retired early, handed in their badges, leaving the NYPD for other police departments because the Democrats are in charge, and they dump all over the police and they worship the criminals. 2,516 NYPD handed in their badges last year. By the time November rolled around, they're down thousands of cops in New York. We're down hundreds of cops in D.C. Across the country, it's the same thing because of the left. Yes, sir. Also, the Democrats, they love crime, right? Fox 9 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis police chief blasts art. They have art celebrating the 3rd precinct fire. Now, that's a euphemism. Violent mobs of criminal Democrats who were mostly not illegal aliens attacked the 3rd District Police Station and burned it and locked the police inside, trying to kill them all. Democrats, Joe Biden voters, Barack Obama voters, and Hillary Clinton voters. That's funny. Once again, Hillary Clinton came out of her burrow today, didn't see her shadow. 4 more years of not being president. So here it is. A neighborhood art contest in a left-wing, radical, racist, anti-police neighborhood, Democrat neighborhood. A neighborhood art contest is turning controversial as the Minneapolis police chief denounces an entry that depicted a burning 3rd police precinct with a person dressed as a pig inside. Chief Brian O'Hara, that's right, he's Chief O'Hara, Chief like in Batman. Chief Brian O'Hara called the display appalling and counterproductive. Counterproductive? I'd call in snipers for the artist. After videos circulated on social media showing the crowd at the Powderhorn Art Sled rally cheering as the sled made it down the hill. You see, they're cheering. In a lengthy email sent to sworn officers and civilian staff late Saturday night, Chief O'Hara said he was outraged and frustrated by the disgusting display which depicted the infamous night the 3rd Police Precinct burned to the ground in the riots following George Floyd's murder. Yeah, and then a police officer was convicted of murder. He died of heart failure because of all the fentanyl in his system. And the coroner said if we had found him dead in a Barcalounger at home, we would have said he died of a fentanyl overdose. And police officer Derek Chauvin did not kneel on his neck. The knee was between his shoulder blades, just as he was trained to do at the police academy. And it was cardiac failure, according to no asphyxiation, no neck injuries, no injuries to the trachea, none of that. And he was yelling, I can't breathe, when they were trying to push him into the back of the police car, and he was assaulting the officers over and over again because he committed felonies throughout his life, right to the very end. And Chief O'Hara says, make no mistake, the burning of the 3rd Police Precinct Station House set off a signal of lawlessness that resulted in the highest levels of violence in our most vulnerable residents, you see. But I'm extremely grateful, as everyone who lives and works in this city should be, for the work that all of you do every day, he said to the police officers. Now, they're celebrating and cheering an artwork that shows the police precinct burning with a pig inside, you see, and the Democrats showed up for the art contest and they're cheering. I say if you're a registered Democrat, that your address should be on a list and police should not respond to the homes of registered Democrats, right? Womp, womp, womp. And this burning and sacking of the police station, which is an insurrection, by the way, violent attack on civil authority, on established authority, is an insurrection. But never mind that. And they were attempting to murder police officers. But never mind that. In his email, Chief O'Hara noted the noticeably majority white crowd cheering along, saying, over the past year, I've been to several community meetings where I've seen people stand up and speak on behalf of marginalized communities. Why don't we all demand that schools educate people? We all speak standard English. We all have an education that will allow us to get jobs, to make a living and live a normal life like a normal American, and then stop being marginalized. What do you think? But the left is taking us in the opposite direction on every level. Don't hire people based on merit. You kidding me? Come on. All right, let's get back to the dimwits. Oh, because, let me go to the Heritage Foundation, the Daily Signal today, because there was a big vote in Congress, and 150 Democrats voted against a bill. The bill would allow us, the American people, to deport illegal aliens who are in the country illegally if they're convicted of DUI. There was an illegal alien drunk out of his brains that killed a nun in Virginia a couple of years ago, crashing into the nun in Virginia. And the Democrats, I think, are planning on running him for office. But the Daily Signal has the story, and Tyler O'Neill, 150 Democrats vote against bill to deport illegal immigrants convicted of DWI. It says DUI here. Sorry. Some 150 House Democrats voted Thursday against a bill to allow the deportation of illegal immigrants. First of all, you should be eligible for deportation because you're an illegal immigrant who have been convicted of driving while under the influence of alcohol and other drugs. In the United States, someone dies in a crash with an impaired driver every 45 minutes. The bill's sponsor, Representative Barry Moore of Alabama, told the Daily Signal in a statement on Thursday, I lost two of my young newlywed constituents to an illegal immigrant driving under the influence of alcohol. I'm proud to join with my House Republican colleagues to protect American families from more of these tragedies by passing legislation to deport illegal immigrants, that's enough right there, who have been caught driving impaired, Congressman Moore said. The bill, H.R. 6976, passed the House of Representatives 274 to 150, with 7 members not voting. The bill would amend the Immigration and Nationality Act to provide that aliens, illegal aliens, who have been convicted of or who have committed an offense for driving while intoxicated or impaired are inadmissible and deportable. Imagine that. But the Democrats, you got 150 Democrats who are like, no, we want more drunk, stupid, illegal aliens barreling around the streets of America, killing people because they love death more than we love life. That's the old Al-Qaeda saying, but the Democrat Party has more or less adopted it. Pramila Jayapal again, who shaves her head and looks like a villain from a knockoff James Bond movie. Pramila Jayapal is very angry with Republicans for suggesting that we could deport illegal aliens, not immigrants who are here legally, even on a work permit or a student thing. No, but they're here illegally to begin with, and then they're barreling around our roads drunk in a car that may or may not belong to them, that may or may not have insurance, and they're obviously a threat to the public, running over children, dragging them down the street. Pramila Jayapal wants more of this. She's very angry.
It's certainly not a good use of our time on this floor, but my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have made it clear that they're not interested in sensible solutions, just in sensationalism. This bill is another example of that.
Racist.
And I hope my colleagues will stop referring to people as illegals. People are human beings. They have different statuses. Some are undocumented. If you want to say some are illegal, but let's not call human beings illegal. Tired of that language.
What? She just contradicted herself, didn't she? Well, some are illegal. Yeah, some are illegal, but let's not call them illegal. Because, the truth is her enemy. That woman is disturbed. She genuinely is disturbed. She should be expelled from Congress and if possible, from the country. She should be stripped of her U.S. citizenship. I know she's natural born, but she should be deported to Cuba or Venezuela, where she can enjoy the good life. Now, and she's a racist. 59 Democrats voted with every Republican in the House to pass this bill yesterday. But, about 3 times as many Democrats voted against it because they want more drunk illegal aliens on the roads of America. Senator Dickie Durbin of Illinois, also known as Dickie the Turban, he hates America, and he speaks like a doctor in a mental ward. And he was babbling, I guess, day before yesterday, because we had this yesterday. Oh, no, this is from December. I'm sorry, this one's from December. And he's talking about illegal aliens. They love illegal aliens. They want to fill our military with illegal alien gang members from MS-13 and the Mexican drug cartels. So they get the training and the weapons and arrange for heists and then, desert, like their guy, Bo Bergdahl. Dickie the Turban, they want especially transgender illegal aliens in our military.
If you're an undocumented person in this country,
illegal alien,
and you can pass the physical and the required test, background test, the like.
Unlike
you can serve in our military, and if you do it honorably, we will make you citizens of the United States. Do we need that? Do you know what the recruiting numbers are at the Army and the Navy and the Air Force? They can't reach their quotas each month. They can't find enough people to join our military forces. And there are those who are undocumented who want the chance to serve and risk their lives for this country. Should we give them the chance? I think we should.
He thinks we should. Let's have like the MS-13 brigade. We'll send them into combat against the Houthis. And if you survive, then you get a gift basket. And we'll give you the house next door to Dick Durbin's house. I think we should turn over the house next door to Dick Durbin's house to MS-13 now. I should start a GoFundMe page to buy the house next door to Dick Durbin's house and turn it over to MS-13. Man, oh man. Another crazy story out of communist Venezuela. It's a socialist utopia. Radical left CNN idiots have the story. U.S. moves to reimpose sanctions on Venezuela after opposition candidate barred from presidential election. No sense of irony, these people. Am I right? The U.S. has reimposed economic sanctions against the Venezuelan state. How about Iran? The state-owned mining company, and says it could go on to reimpose further sanctions on the country's oil and gas sector after Venezuela's Supreme Court barred main opposition candidate Maria Corina Machado from running for president last week. Now, in the United States, the Democrats are fighting to bar President Trump from being on the ballot. In Hawaii is the most recent, and like 8 other states in the United States. The Democrats are doing what the communists do in countries like Venezuela, fighting to keep President Trump off the ballot as though she's Maria Corina Machado in Venezuela. And CNN does this with a straight face and doesn't understand the irony, the absurdity of all of this. Amazing. The Democrats are fighting to keep Trump off the ballot in state after state, just as, and that's happening in Senegal, it's happening in Venezuela, and it's happening in 6 or 8 Democrat states in the United States of America. Sig Heil meine Schatzi. Also, the idiots at the FBI reportedly missed a hidden room at Mar-a-Lago. Secret rooms and a closet. It was a hidden room, and they were searching Mar-a-Lago. Remember, with the rifles and the helicopters and the tanks and the submarines and, attacking all this stuff. Special counsel Jack Smith's team questioned multiple witnesses about a closet and a hidden room that FBI agents did not enter while executing a search warrant at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence, which is worth $18, I think. Isn't that $18? And the FBI, I got to tell you, the FBI is going to need to get more eyes, because the number of black eyes that the FBI has received in the last couple of years is mind-boggling. You guys tore that place apart. Remember, they were playing with Melania's underwear in the underwear drawer. They were going through young Barron's sock drawer. But they missed a room and a closet. Couldn't find. You should go back. Bring in, Delta Force and break down every wall. Maybe burn the estate to the ground. You guys, honestly. Oh, yeah, and Joe Biden curses his brains out all the time, There was a story a few months ago about how he curses out all his staffers, calls them the F word and the A word and the all kinds of slurs and curse words all the time. And now there's a news story that he privately lets loose on sick beep Donald Trump, cursing up a storm about Donald Trump and stuff. And let's go to this one more. This nice lady, the truckers' convoy that is headed to the Texas-Mexico border to show support for Border Patrol and American sovereignty, which the Democrat Party opposes. Nice lady with her American flag shirt and American flag stuck in her straw cowboy hat. Hey, why is this trucker convoy going to Texas?
To raise awareness that this is an invasion and our country can't sustain this. And to raise awareness to the fact that most of them coming across the border are single military-age men. We wonder, why are you allowing this to happen in our country?
That's a fair question, don't you think? We should ask the FBI. They should hide in that secret room and never come out. Maybe they should be asking states why they're trying to keep Trump off the ballot, like's going on in Senegal and Venezuela. We're becoming, or we already are, a third world country. We're a third world country with a third world government and a first world economy. Just what radical leftists from the third world have always wanted. Wah, wah, wah. All right, first I have to straighten out something I mixed up. Ayanna Pressley is the shaved head lunatic that should be a villain on a knockoff James Bond movie. Premila Jayapal was the last soundbite that we played of she's the one that wants more illegal aliens on the drunk illegal aliens on the road. That's Premila Jayapal. Ayanna Pressley, she was crazy today too. The Walgreens. The racist Walgreens are leaving because there's nothing left to steal in their store. The Democrat Party is not unwell. Also, it's good. People are photoshopping Joe Biden's face onto the body of the illegal alien criminal flipping off America. And that's perfectly appropriate, I've got to say. These are not good times in America because the Democrat Party's been taken over by radicals and extremists, and the news media loves it because they've made it hip. They've made it chic. It's trendy to be with the most radical, extreme lunatic. And Biden I love that the Arabs and Muslims, not to be conflated, in Michigan are organizing a political jihad to deny Joe Biden the presidency. And that'll turn out to be a lie. They'll all show up for Biden anyway. But they're pretending because it's a shakedown. You know, it's a political operation, Middle East style. And this is all because they support Hamas's massacre of the Jews. That's why the Arabs and Muslims in Michigan and in Minnesota are organizing against Joe Biden and threatening him, naturally. I got to tell you, if you're a legal immigrant to the United States and you're pro-Hamas, I would catapult you across the Atlantic Ocean and tell you to swim the rest of the way. That's you would be out of here so fast. President Trump promising mass deportations on a scale never before seen in the United States. Sounds like a great idea. A wonderful idea. And we're gonna have to, maybe we'll have to tweet out the Joe Biden's face on the illegal alien criminal attacking the police, flipping us all off with Joe Biden's head, because they're the Biden boys. They're not on our side.